Casey, talk.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Casey's microphone's on. Microphone's on. All right. Now we can do the intro.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Tony from Hack the Movies here. And today we're talking about Final Destination 3, the most interactive of the Final Destination movies. Today on Hack the Movies. Hello, Casey.
Hello, Tony. Happy New Year.
This is coming out like the end of January. It's a little too late for
Happy
that.
New Year.
Happy New Year. And
Yes.
I'm glad your mic is on and we can all hear you clearly.
Yes, I was just going to ask you if you could check that because the last 2 episodes, my voice has been weird.
Yeah, your voice went from being really rough because you were sick.
Yeah.
And then I screwed up and plugged the microphone in wrong.
2 of my favorite movies, but now we're starting off the new year with another one of my favorite movies from my favorite horror movie franchise.
And now I'm panicked. I have to make sure every camera's on. Okay, because I filmed the bonus thing with Manny and I forgot to put his camera on. But no, red. We're good.
We're all paranoid, like the characters from this movie.
I need to have control, like the girl in this
Yes,
film.
full control.
Yes, Final Destination 3. Like you, I really love this franchise. Mostly the first 2. I realize I don't really rewatch the sequels too much.
Okay.
Other than the first 2.
Well, I like the first 3.
You have the Trilogy box set, which we're going to talk throughout the film, like the super interactive. Oh my God, an original animated short.
Oh, you have no idea how much fun I had with this because I knew when you asked me to do this episode, it's my favorite Final Destination movie. And so I was like, I have to go home and find my Trilogy.
Yeah.
And so I went where I knew it would be, and the only Final Destination was there. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I open my, not even in there. And then I'm like, okay, it's in this other place. So I go down and I find the box and it's only 1 and 2. And I'm like, of course it's only 1 and 2 because my favorite one is the third one. Go up to my room and I'm like, okay, there's the third one. So now I have them all because I love that one so much.
I'm currently ripping the DVD, so I have a list. I looked up everything I could on YouTube, but if I missed anything, it's currently ripping. I will insert it into the episode.
So exciting.
But yes, Final Destination 3. So Final Destination 1, big hit. I was surprised to find this out in the Final Destination 2 episode, but Final Destination 2 in the theater didn't do as well as part 1.
Right.
But me and Crystal theorized, and I think we're right, it must have killed on home video. Because it was like, everyone knew that movie. So I'm guessing on home video it did really well. So they're like, we got to do a third one.
And when I was going through like all of the money that it's made, like the franchise, the fourth one made the most out of all of them.
Because the second one became like a cult hit. Not really a cult hit. It's just that was back still in the early 2000s where home video could save your movie. Because what was the big one? The Bourne Identity. Not a big hit in the theater. Obviously, they made a shit ton because I think it was the most rented movie of that year. So I think Final Destination 2 really launched that movie. So, of course, everyone came out for 3.
Yes.
They liked it, and then they were like, well, we got to go see the 4th one. And then the 4th one was like the weakest.
Oh, it's all right.
Which is a shame because the 5th one's really good.
They're all so good, in my opinion.
It worked because this ended up being, before the 4th one, this was the most financially successful one.
Good.
But yeah, so Jeffrey Reddick leaves, the writer of the first 2. He leaves, but James Wong and Glenn Morgan come back. I forget because Glenn has a brother called Darren Morgan who also wrote for the X-Files. And I think I screwed up in previous episodes and I was like, Glenn Morgan is my favorite X-Files writer.
Is he? So he wrote this one?
Yes, he wrote this one. And Glenn Morgan is a great X-Files writer. I love his writing. But his brother Darren wrote some of my top favorite X-Files.
Cool.
So I always screw those 2 up. But yeah, Glenn Morgan, who I talked about in the Black Christmas episode. I really wish Black Christmas 2006 didn't flop. Because he was on a roll for a bit. He did Willard.
He wrote that movie?
Yeah, he directed it.
Okay.
He directed that.
I liked that one.
Yeah.
And one of the girls from that is in this.
Yeah, well, my girl is in the
Yeah.
girl.
Her too. 2 of the girls.
Oh, there's 2.
2 of the girls are from it.
I forget who the other one is.
Yes, the tanning salon.
Oh, I didn't know.
We'll talk about it.
But yeah, so James Wong, Glenn Morgan returned because originally I mentioned in the first episode, this whole series started as an unused X-Files episode. So they're back, baby. They're bringing it back. They wanted to bring in the theme of control and taking control and trying to control
teens.
And teens. Yes, they're teens again because the last one they were like college,
it was
early adult.
like all the above. all ages and what? Stop it! Is it death coming to find us?
No. I thought the Alexa made a sound, but
I think your thing's done.
That's what it was. Okay, actually, real quick, I'm gonna mute the speakers so I don't get any other messages. Sorry about that. Set. We're back. All right. Yes. So I didn't see this in theaters. I actually have only seen one Final Destination in theaters. And that was the fourth one. But I caught it on video, and at the time, I was let down.
Aww.
I was let down by it. But do I still feel that way? Maybe it's because I was watching the regular cut and I wasn't making decisions about the character's fates, which I have notes here when you can change the character's fates. And I was real happy to find about what you could do for one character and save him. I'm like, well, he needed to be saved above all the rest.
Yeah, this DVD is one of the best ever. It has great bonus features. There's literally a documentary on the making of Final Destination 3 that is just as long as the movie. And they just dive even into the writer and director's relationship. It's so good.
I forgot, people were telling me the Final Destination 2 Infinidisc DVD was really cool too, which you have.
Yeah.
I lent it to my cousin because she was showing her daughters the movies. And I guess they really like Final Destination 2 because I never got it back.
Oh, that stinks. But yeah, the special features on there are like every filmmaker's dream. They're so good.
I was bummed. A few years ago, I got the Walmart 5 DVD pack because it had a glow-in-the-dark cover.
Of course.
But I was like, it didn't come with any features. I was like, oh, damn.
That's like the Monster Squad Blu-ray. It has no special features on it. It's so dumb.
That was like the original John Carpenter's The Thing Blu-ray. Had nothing.
Like,
it was just, the movie looked great, but I had to keep my DVD because it had all the features. Anyway, so I was let down. But yeah, let's go through this film.
I was let down, but this time you weren't.
We'll see. So it opens up. It opens up on a carnival.
It does.
Full of rides and also a really CGI pinball machine.
Which I never noticed. I never noticed it going into the Fate or whatever.
Yeah, and I never noticed the title screen is like tarot card font. And
yeah.
I'm like, and because it's been a while since I watched this one. And I remember being like, do tarot cards play into this?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think they do.
They do not, but I guess the whole carnival theme.
Yeah.
And that's just like, what's that movie? Drag Me to Hell. It has like the
which I actually really want to do. Drag Me to Hell.
I have a shirt, so I can wear it. And also the opening titles reminded me of the remake of When a Stranger Calls too, because that takes place at a carnival.
You know, I need to watch that whole series.
Yep, and we're gonna cover it. I volunteer as tribute.
Oh, okay, we're covering it. I was like, yeah, I should probably watch it. I was like, yeah, we're reviewing it. We're going to review it. Okay, I guess we're reviewing it.
I'm already writing down every episode I should be in this year.
It's probably going to have to be what is the best When a Stranger Calls. I think there's like a handful of them.
Yeah, there's a few.
Yeah. Speaking of tarot, did you end up watching that?
No.
It's bad. Don't watch it.
I didn't watch tarot.
It's bad. Don't watch it. Because I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh, that hit Netflix. I'm like, I can feel like she would be interested in that film, but you're going to be let down. Don't watch it. So we get introduced to Mary Elizabeth Winstead, or Winstead. I say Winstead, who I am obsessed with, who I've been crushing. Actually, at this point, I wasn't crushing on her yet.
Really?
It wasn't until she was in the cheerleading suit in Death Proof. And then I'm like, hold on, I got to pay attention to this girl. Then she was a Die Hard 4, and then I was like all on board.
When I was watching this, I'm like, oh, Tony loves this woman.
I love her.
We're going to be talking about her.
Don't get me wrong, not enough to watch all her movies. I see like previews for her movies. I'm like, oh, that looks really bad. She looks great, though.
Yeah. Well, and I had just as much of a crush on Ryan Merriman.
Which one was he?
Merriman.
Which one was he?
The Kevin.
Oh,
and he was in Halloween Resurrection.
Okay, yes.
Right?
It was that one. I thought he looked familiar.
Halloween Resurrection.
As the number one.
Well, I know him from Disney Channel original movies.
No. But as the number one Res-tard, I saw him, and I'm like, I'm feeling a special connection to this guy. And I think it's because he's in the best Halloween movie.
The best Halloween 4.
The best fourth Halloween movie. Go back and watch our what is the best fourth Halloween movie. I'm so glad next year it's just what is the best version of Halloween 6. We don't have to do the timeline shit anymore. Oh God! And then after that, we got to do the first Rob Zombie movie.
Good. I love that movie.
Not looking forward to that. Anyway, so they're at the carnival. She's taking pictures because she works for the school paper, the yearbook.
Yeah, the yearbook.
The yearbook. By the way,
what?
My yearbook, I got most likely to become a celebrity.
Get out of here. And it came true.
Well, I mean,
we didn't do that.
I mean, I'm a clown on the internet. At the time, that wasn't considered celebrity, but it is now.
That's amazing. No, we did do that, but I didn't get anything.
Yeah. So she's taking pictures, and she's starting to get hints that something's going to happen. She takes a picture of the high dive ride, but then the V goes out in her camera on her nice little Panasonic. I wonder if I had that. I think I had either something almost exactly like it.
Mine was purple, but they're coming back.
They are?
The digital cameras, yeah.
I love those.
I love them, but
the batteries just always crap out on them. Yeah.
But she's already so scared of everything anyway.
Yeah, because she needs to be in control. That's like her thing. I forget if they explain why.
No.
She's just a control freak, I guess. Sure. So yeah, she's taking pictures. Her friend Carrie reveals that she's gonna break up with her boyfriend Kevin.
Yeah, which is horrible.
After graduate. Oh wait, it's bad to plan a breakup after graduation.
No, I mean just what's coming up.
Oh, I was gonna say because I was totally doing that in high school. I think I did it early.
I mean, it makes sense.
I think they caught on, so I had to pull the plug a little earlier.
Yeah. But before that, he grabs the camera from her and takes a picture up a girl's skirt.
It was 2006, Casey. Yeah. We were all doing it, okay?
There's really a lot going on in this first scene now that I think about it. There's a lot to cover.
This one, I think, so they're all just a little bit comedic, all the movies, but this one got a little goofy off the gut. Like, they are cartoon characters, these characters.
They're just really on the nose, like... what is it called? Like we have our jock, we have our virgin.
I'm gonna say like stereotypes or there's a different word and I'm blanking on it.
T.
Tropes or
Yes, that's what I'm looking for.
Type. I don't know. We got it. Yeah. Someone in the comment right now is like, "You idiots! It's this word."
Yes.
I feel bad that she's gonna break up with Kevin because I think throughout the rest of the movie he doesn't know that.
I know.
She never tells him.
No, he doesn't.
Thank God she doesn't tell him. That would have been bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we meet Ashley and Ashlyn, and they have the whale tails sticking out.
Yes.
Are whale tails coming back anytime soon?
I don't think they're coming back, but I remember they were in.
Casey, we're bringing whale tails back. I'm going to be whale tailing all summer long, and I expect everyone else on the show to be whale tailing.
But I don't like high-waisted pants. I mean, low-waisted pants, so...
Okay, well, you'll be the one loser, not me, Joey C, Manny Musk kids. We're all going to be whale tailing this summer.
But Kevin's like, if you want to sell some yearbooks, you should get a picture of that.
And then she's just like, ew. You got a good point.
Yes, she totally goes over there and takes a picture.
So yeah, Ashlyn and Ashley are the hot ones. Mm-hmm. So which one was she in?
The brunette was in Black Christmas.
Okay.
I don't remember which character, but she didn't have bangs.
Mm.
But she's in Black Christmas, and the other girl was the younger girl in the original series, It. She was the one that she's first killed that sets off the story.
Oh, the little girl at the very beginning?
Yeah, that's her.
Oh, shit.
I know. And also, she's from a movie that I don't think anyone else but me has heard of. It's called Rats. And it's about these two girls who find this ring and they like make wishes and stuff. And they wish that these two boys were their boyfriends and they wish on rats. And then they become their boyfriends.
So the rats,
and I have it on VHS and I can't find it anywhere else. I only have it on VHS.
So the rats turn into boys?
Boys, and that's their boyfriends. But she's in it. She's like the popular girl.
Do they still think like rats?
Yes.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah. Who else is in that? Someone really famous is in it, a woman.
That
girl's in it.
I'm going to have to watch Rats now.
Yeah. And the girl that's going to break up with Kevin, she's from one of those Predator movies we watched.
Right. Oh, God.
AVP.
I'm looking it up.
Is that right? AVP?
I'm looking it up. Yes, Casey. She was the pregnant waitress in Aliens vs. Predator Requiem, which we talked about in our What is the Worst Predator movie episode, which was then clipped for the second channel if you just want to watch that segment. And I believe we have a commentary track on it as well.
Yeah, we did it all.
Good. We're plugging early. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, so this carnival, I saw a lot of familiar things at this carnival.
Okay.
Although I don't remember carnivals having roller coasters. That feels like a theme park thing and not a roller coaster.
I think that's why I like this one best, because it's like a theme park.
I guess so. But I saw like the Zipper and all the other rides. But my carnivals never had a cool black guy with shiny glasses dancing. Like, where's that shit?
Yeah, that was so
the best part.
Yeah.
They got on the roller coaster like you get on your death trap. I'm going to be dancing with this guy. Yeah.
Like Kevin was, and he did the little clicking of the feet, which he does in Luck of the Irish.
It was a callback to that film.
Yes, it was. It totally was.
To that film.
Great that they casted him. Yeah. 2006. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Like
in
2006,
we were all at carnivals. Black guys were dancing with shiny glasses.
20 years, though. Like, oh my gosh.
Stop making me feel old, all right? Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. You know how hard it was to say Pagemaster was 30?
Yeah,
Let's just keep going,
true.
Casey. So Wendy's sister, Julie, is there. And that actress was in the comedy Sex Drive. Did you ever see Sex Drive?
No.
That comedy's awesome. She's in a bunch of stuff. I was looking her up to see like what she's been in, because I only really know her from this and Sex Drive, and I think maybe one other movie. But she's in like a romantic comedy where like a guy wants to get back together with his ex-girlfriend. She's the ex-girlfriend, but she's a wrestler. It's called Choke Slam, and I'm like, oh, I gotta watch that. That looks awesome.
Yeah, that sounds different. But she's also in She's the Man.
Oh, okay.
With Amanda Bynes, and she's also from a workout DVD I used to do all the time in high school.
Ooh. What's it called?
Piloxing.
What is that?
Pilates and boxing, which
Oh.
I'm also certified in.
Both of those?
Pilates and boxing.
You're certified in boxing?
Piloxing. No, I'm certified in piloxing.
Oh, okay.
Which is Pilates and boxing. And she's in the video.
I think we figured out our next Rocky reboot.
Yes, you're a genius.
Rocky's granddaughter is going to be piloxing.
Let's write it. Let's write it.
But yeah, she's Wendy. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is Wendy. She's
Yeah.
Wendy's sister, Julie. She's not supposed to be there. She's like, stop trying to control me.
Yep.
It's like, we get it, control. We get it. And then we meet football guy Lewis. Total jock, total meathead. He loves it. He's doing the hammer strength thing. He's so strong. He knocks the gimmicky thing's head off, goes flying. He's just a total badass. And then he's not physically in the movie, but Tony Todd has 2 voice cameos. And the first one is the voice of the big devil outside the roller coaster.
Is the beginning of the end.
That's genius.
I don't know who designed this, but I don't really want to design a roller coaster where it's just going, you're gonna die before you get on it.
And apparently it has big balls.
Apparently it does, and they're trying to cup them, which reminds me, they shot a vlog and I put it on the Patreon a few years back. But Johanna and Ian went to Animal Kingdom. Do you know what they did with the Animal Kingdom sign?
No.
It's apparently a very popular thing.
No way.
But you take a picture and you frame it upright where your head blocks some of the letters and it says Anal Kingdom. So what were you expecting? Something like
I thought there was like a hidden thing.
Well, apparently this is hidden, but there's a picture. There's a picture of
I
Ian.
gotta see it.
There's like a picture of Ian like this, just Anal Kingdom behind him.
That's good.
So yeah, that's Tony Todd's cameo. I wonder why they didn't just put him in this. Like physically.
Yeah.
Although this one, they decided at this point to be like standalones. Whereas the first one was a little bit connected to the first one.
Ooh.
I think this was smart, just being like, we know the formula now. Someone gets a premonition. Right. They try to figure out a way to outsmart it.
I do think they continue to connect them to
They reference the other ones, but like the second one, like, specifically, Death was targeting them because they were left over from the first film when they had to readjust.
That's right.
And Ollie Larder comes back in that one. But this one is just kind of like, same things happen in the end, just a new people, which is usually what a sequel does, which maybe is why I like Final Destination 2 a little bit more. I'm like, oh, it did a clever way to do that. But yeah, Wendy does not want to go on the ride. No. And her boyfriend, Jason, is like, it'll be fine.
And you only don't like it because you don't have control.
Yes. He's like, that's the only reason you don't like it. It's going to be fine. I'm not going to be impaled on a spike. No one's going to get shredded or anything. You're overreacting.
Like, you think that way, but it never actually happens.
Yeah. Oh, then we have... the guy who wanted to frame the balls. He's my favorite character. Was it Frankie Cheese? Was it Frankie Cheese? Was that
He's the worst.
What was his name? Frankie Cheeks. The worst? What are you talking about? You're telling me the annoying guy with the camera in high school in 2006 is annoying, is bad, is the worst?
Yeah,
I feel personally attacked, Casey.
Hey, I was the girl with the video camera, but I wasn't videoing boob TNA.
I wasn't either, but I was annoying with my video camera.
But his story on getting this part is very inspirational if you watch the documentary on the DVD.
Share it here. If you
he said he was like homeless and he called his mom and his mom like, don't worry, the sun will come out tomorrow. And it did. And then he got a call. Or no, he went and auditioned for this movie and they really liked him, but New Line didn't like him because he had a receding hairline and he didn't look like a high school
why they put the hat on him?
Yes, and they also fill it in a little bit. But then I don't know, his agent was in a meeting with the New Line people who were watching his stand-up act and they're like, I don't know, guys, you think that he looks like a high schooler? And the agent's like, yes, he does. Put him in this movie. And that's how he got the part. So
I'm sorry, New Line. Did you forget, like, wigs exist? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, so they filled it in for sure.
Okay. Well, I'm glad he got in. I love this character. I'm like, Frankie Cheeks, you deserve to live a long, happy life. And I love that he calls himself Frankie Cheeks. I'm like, everything about this character is just winning for
me. He's so gross.
Also, I don't know about you, Casey, but if I saw the tracks of a roller coaster kind of coming apart and wiggling, not getting on that roller coaster.
Yeah.
Gonna avoid that one.
Roller coasters aren't my favorite in general.
Okay.
Depends on them.
Roller coaster time. I might have talked about this in another episode, but we'll repeat it here. Did you go on the Velociraptor roller coaster? What was it, 2 years ago? It was my first time back at Universal.
Yeah.
My mom and I were like, whoa, new roller coaster. We love roller coasters. Let's go on it. I didn't know it didn't have the shoulder thing. It's just the lap bar.
Yeah.
They put the lap bar down. Me and her are like, but this has loops. And we're like, my mom cursed so much in front of all those little children. We like, cause like it feels, and I looked it up, the engineers and stuff, like it is physically impossible for you to fall out of it, but it feels like you're falling out of it.
I'm getting nauseous thinking about it.
I was shooken. I'm like, that's my first roller coaster in like 10 years, and I love roller coasters, and that, I'm like, I can never, ever go back on it again.
No, I didn't like that one. That was not a fan.
Honestly, if it just had, and I know...
I can't even remember how it's set up, to be honest.
It's like you're there, they're like, raptors are getting out, and then it launches you.
I can't remember how you sit, or you stand, or...
No, you sit, and it's just a lap bar.
Oh, okay.
But it has loops, and it goes fast, and it spins you around. I'm like, I'm used to, if it has a loop, it does this. But
and you go, like, right into the water.
Yeah,
like,
and apparently, like, the velocity and everything, you will never fall out.
Oh my
But
gosh.
mentally, I feel like I'm gonna fall out. I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it.
No,
I'll never do it again. It was just too much. No. Which is why I was excited to see this movie, because I knew the roller coaster would be the opening. And I'm like, I love roller coasters. I'm like, but because the plane crash one, everyone's thought about a plane crash.
Yeah.
Obviously. The highway one really took people by surprise because of how like traumatizing it was. And when I saw a roller coaster, I'm like, this is going to be the best one.
Yes.
It has to be.
And it is.
Yeah. So yeah, Wendy is just like, I don't want to get in the front seat. I don't want to get in the front seat. We can't get in the front seat. So they do the coin flip here, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to see who gets to be in the front. So Carrie's boyfriend, Kevin, is going to sit with Wendy.
Which made no sense to me. The boyfriend should have just been like, okay, I'll sit with you in the back. Like her boyfriend. It was so dumb.
Nah, she was being a bit of a killjoy.
No, she wasn't. And also in line, we meet the other characters, Ian.
Yes, the punk
his
kids.
Girlfriend.
I just have punk guy, punk girl.
Yeah, he's from Ginger Snaps.
Yes, he did look familiar, and I had to Google him, which there's a review of on the channel. Yeah, so she's going to sit with Kevin, and Jason's going to sit with Carrie in the front.
So weird.
I do like that some little kids get kicked off the ride in the very beginning because they're like, hey, you can't sit there. Like, what do you mean? I'm this many inches tall. They're like, no, get out of here. And then I felt bad because those are like little kids, but there are some people like in their adult life who can't get on these rides because they're too short. And I just, my heart breaks for Kid Osborne is what I'm trying to say. It just really heart breaks for Kid Osborne. I would just like to see him on a roller coaster. We'll never be tall enough, Casey.
Oh, I'm not getting involved.
I've been putting Puppet Kid Osborne on the show for a while.
But yeah, if you think about it, like the ride operators, they were professional about everything until. Yeah.
Well, they told them no cameras.
And they gave them all the correct rules.
Can I put it in my pocket? They're like, sure.
Sure, whatever.
But then Frankie Cheeks hears that, and he's like, I'm gonna hide mine. This does a great job of building tension, especially if you're afraid of roller coasters.
Yes, really good tension.
Because it slowly brings you up the track. The camera shows that this hydraulic cord is ripping and tearing. So it shows that the ride starts, it's fine. Frankie Cheeks' camera drops, wraps around, and rips the cord out, which loosens their seats. So now they can't keep their seats down. It makes a bunch of carts in the front just fly off the track. Yep. Lewis is hanging on because he's very strong. He shouldn't have been showing off his muscles earlier. He would have had enough energy to hold on. He like falls and gets caught again and then just dies. And then when he does that, he bends a pipe, setting up for another death. They get stuck upside down. Punk kids fall. We never really hold on. We never really see what happens to them. They just fall, I think. They start to rock the coaster back. They're like, all right, let's rock it backwards. Kevin, dead.
And the half of him is in the seat with her.
Yes. Oh, wait, he's the one who gets bisected.
Yeah.
Okay, Lewis was something else. He gets bisected. I think Jason gets through the pipe, right?
I can't really remember.
There's a metal pipe that like bends. I think Jason gets through it, falls out, and she's about to hit the track, and then she snaps out of it.
Can I say the way that they did the camera falling, his video camera falling was really cool. Because the guy, it was literally on like, it looked like a fishing wire.
Yeah.
And it was all green screen and only the guy's face was showing, the guy who's holding it.
Yeah.
And they just filmed it going down like he was doing this with the...
Yeah.
Yeah, you could find it in it.
Now, like I said, I was very excited for this opening.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
What? I have written down one of the best opening scenes.
It's too green screened. The CGI is not good at all.
And it's so sad because you would never know how much went into it because they also they doubled the length of the roller coaster while filming it because they had to film it several different times, and they doubled the length by having the main characters, Kevin and Wendy, they had their same costumes on, but everything was backwards. So that in post, they flipped it. So it just kept going and going.
Got you.
Isn't that cool?
Mean, a lot of work went into it. It just could limit it by the technology. It just never looked like they were actually on a roller coaster. And
they were!
I know, but I guess the digital background and stuff, it just, I don't know. I guess I was just so, hyped for it. And again, the highway, I wasn't hyped at all for the highway accident. And it ended up exceeding expectations. Yeah. So I'm like, this has got to be the greatest thing in the world. And I remember just being like, a lot of this kind of just looks stupid, to be honest. And then a couple of them are off screen, the kids just fall. And even right now, we're having a little bit of trouble remembering who died when. Whereas the other ones, I'm just like, yep, that guy caught on fire. Yep. That guy blew up on this thing. That dude got impaled. So yeah, I remember being just let down by that. But I care less this time. Yeah. I was more let down by 4's opening, but we will save that for the 4 episode. So, same as the regular formula. She panics, causes a scene. Some people get off the roller coaster. She's not aware of everyone who got over the roller coaster. It's like this running theme where there's a few that they can't identify. And no one believes her, obviously. And sure enough, the crash happens.
Yes, but we're missing details.
I'm so
sorry.
Fill in the gap.
So yeah, she sees everything that's about to happen, that she saw in her vision about to happen again. And then they get off of the ride. And as that happens, Kevin and what's his name in the movie? The black guy?
Lewis.
Lewis. They get into a tiff, slapping Erin, the
that's right.
goth guy's girlfriend. So they come off of it. Other people come off, and the boyfriend's like, let me off. That's my girlfriend. I want to go help her and whatever. And they won't let him off. They're like, everyone else is staying on this ride. Everyone who's off of it, just get out.
Yeah.
And the guy that is behind the boyfriend saying, hey, ho, let's go. Yeah. Ooh, that just connected with something because there's a Joey Ramone bobblehead in it. Why is there a Joey? That's okay.
Okay.
He's from several different movies as well. He was just in Hot Frosty or something on Lifetime.
Oh God, Hot Frosty.
Yes. But he annoyed me most. Hey ho.
Wait, by the way, Hot Frosty, Adam was giving me shit for the movies I picked on my end of year wrap up, and I didn't think to say it at the time, but then he left a comment, so I got to him like, "Oh, sorry, I'm not reviewing classics like Hot Frosty because he reviews all that Netflix garbage." I'm like, sorry, my picks aren't good enough for you, Adam. I'll review Hot Frosty.
He hates everything.
Look. I'm with him. Mean Girls musical. What the hell? Why did that make it on your top 10? I'm like, Casey?
I just put all the movies I saw.
Oh, I thought that was your top 10.
No, I forgot like Maxine and stuff. There were some movies I did forget to put on there. I don't know how I missed them. Like Omen, the first Omen. Forgot to put that on there. Anyway.
One of the best episodes
I digress.
last year. One of the best performing episodes last year.
So yeah, like you said, everyone dies.
Everyone dies. Or do they? Because the alternate version on the DVD, when they do the coin flip, she can grab it and be like, none of us are getting on.
I tried to do it and it didn't let me. I clicked both options.
Well, I'm watching it here. You do the coin flip. She tells her friends they're not getting on, and her immediate friends all get off the ride, and then it happens, and they all survive.
No way.
And that will lead to their character bios at the end that tells you what happens to them when they survive. Sometime later, she's depressed, which is fair. Her friends all died in a freak, horrifying roller coaster. My mom was in a roller coaster accident. My mom and Aunt, the Mousetrap. You ever been on the Mousetrap? Yeah, they were on a roller coaster accident.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, what happened?
I forget the specific. I think a cart got jammed. They crashed into it.
Scary.
So that was the weirdest thing, because my mom would take me on roller coasters. She's like, yeah, I was in a horrible roller coaster accident once. And I went, what? I'm like, and you still go on them?
Good for her.
Well, no, they tried to be therapeutic because she never wanted to go on the Mousetrap again. And then a long time ago, they took my little sister onto the Mousetrap roller coaster to confront their fear, right? My little sister does not know this story at the time. So they're on there, and it's not even that impressive of a roller coaster, which is shocking that it crashed.
Yeah.
They're on there, and they get to the turn where the initial accident happened. Apparently, my aunt just started crying and went, "We're gonna die!" And my sister went white, and she started freaking.
Aww.
You might be wondering, Tony, why weren't you on the ride?
Why?
And the answer is that I'm a man, and I've heard the story, and I went, well, obviously just don't go on the ride again. Right. Why are all of you going on the ride? That makes no sense. Anyway. It's a weird random thing. I should interview her. I'm like, tell me about your roller coaster accident.
That's cool.
And then the Grim Reapers at the Death Factory, they're up to their shenanigans. They're like, let's do our wind stuff to let her know that we're coming. And someone at the Death Factory should be like, hey, how about we don't do that so we actually end up killing them? Why do we keep giving them all these signs? So yeah, Kevin is trying to be there for her because Jason said, hey, I want you to watch her. And he's like, Jason told me to watch you. And she has a good point. She's like, for like 3 minutes, you don't have to keep watching
on the ride.
Yeah. And she tells him, she's like, we're actually not even like friends. We don't even like each other. You only knew my friend and I knew her. Like, we're not like a thing. Leave me alone.
I want you to know you have support. Like, you're not the only one that this has happened to. And he starts talking on about.
Yes, he ends up telling her the plot to the first movie. He's like, yeah, the Flight 180 and all this stuff. She's like, what? What's going on? I don't know. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just upset that she doesn't want to go to graduation. Which I'm shocked that didn't play into the ending at all. Like them going to like their graduation ceremony.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That could have been cool.
So yeah, Ashlyn and Ashley, they're sad. And they're like, you know what? We need to look our best for all the dead students at graduation. We should go get a tan.
Yeah, and they invite Wendy, and I thought that was really sweet.
That was really nice.
Yeah, they're like,
I know they're supposed to be just like bimbos, but they're not mean.
No, exactly.
They're going to go tanning. At the same time, Wendy is in an argument with Julie because she took her charm bracelet, her good luck charm bracelet. But then she's like, starts venting to her. She's like, look, I'm feeling really guilty about Jason and stuff.
Because who knows where their parents are? They don't understand.
I love that she's just like, I can't talk to mom and dad. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, because they just didn't want to cast those characters. Yeah. So yeah, she's just like, all right, you can have the charm bracelet. Can I borrow your camera? She's like, yeah, but I got to charge the battery first. While that's happening, tanning guy, who just can't get off the phone and refuses to use the store phone, he agrees to let the girls just let them tan her themselves. But he tells her, like, don't bring any liquids in there. What are you doing? Don't do that.
There are rules, people.
These people don't follow the rules.
No.
And you know what? Considering how these girls are acting, if I was the Grim Reapers at the Death Factory and they were like, what should we do with these girls? I would have been like, yeah, just leave them alone. They'll take it. If this problem's going to take care, they're eventually going to do something. I think we're good.
Now, with every Final Destination movie, there's always a kill that stands out. And this one definitely stands out the most for the third one. I think out of the whole franchise as well, it's probably my favorite. And on the special features, the hour-and-a-half documentary on this movie, they go through each death scene and how they did it. And this one, they finally get to this one. I'm like, yes, I can't wait. And they're like, this one was a close set due to the maturity of and only select people were there. And I'm like, no, of course we can't watch it because they're nude.
I forgot there was nudity in this.
Me too.
And I was like, should have been more in the other ones.
But it's rated R, so. Yeah, and it was tastefully done. It wasn't weird or anything.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah,
they were in a tanning bed.
I mean, I guess it was kind of gratuitous, but it wasn't like, it was fine. Like, they would probably be naked in that situation.
Yes.
So while they're doing this, we're cutting back and forth between the tanning booth and Wendy. And Wendy is feeling Death's presence while she's looking at the camera.
Because the Joey Ramone bobblehead.
Yep.
The wind shakes it.
By the way, her old Mac, I think by the time I got to college, we were using those Macs in college. So that took me back.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, and then plugging her Panasonic camera into the computer was pretty funny.
She takes awful pictures, by the way.
Yeah, they're pretty. Well, that was the thing. She was just like, yeah, I work for the school paper and this is my camera. I'm like, that camera sucked back then. Like, what are you doing? Like, I know it was convenient, but it was not good. Like, now your digital camera looks great, but not at that time. My problem with this, a little bit of a weird inconsistency. Like, so Death was planning on the roller coaster to kill them.
Yes.
Why is it now leaving foreshadowing to their deaths outside of the roller coaster? I feel like that breaks a little bit.
Tony, it's a movie.
I know, but like,
we can't dive this deep.
The foreshadowing should have been for their initial death before she ruined it, but. However, I've mentioned in previous episodes, the reason I like this franchise is because it reminds me of The Omen. This is the most obvious it's been The Omen with the pictures. I'm like, wow, you're not even like trying anymore.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, let's just look at the pictures. And their picture is all orange and glowing. She's like, what could this mean? Her light is flickering. The girls, they brought drinks into the room and they raised the temperature.
Because it's cold.
It's just too cold. And then, because they forgot their iPod, sorry.
iPads weren't in existence yet.
So I'm like, look, Casey, I'm just a young, hip kid. I don't know about these iPods. I'm the iPad. As a youthful 20-year-old, I don't know these things. So they're like, at least we have some CDs. Let me just put all my weight onto the shelf and loosen it. Again, if I'm Death, I'm like, oh, they're going to take care. I don't even know how they got on the roller coaster. I don't know how they got this far, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, they accidentally loosen the shelf and then they go tits out because I have in my note, tits. So they're listening to Love Roller Coaster.
Which was very insensitive.
Yes, I would listen to anything else. Do you know why they picked that?
Why?
There is an urban legend about that song. The sound you hear that goes like in the song, the urban legend was, and it makes no sense, that the picture for the album is a girl like covered in honey on glass.
Oh.
And then she got like stuck to the glass and was gonna sue, and then like the record guy killed her. And that audio is the recording of her scream. Obviously, it's not true.
Gosh!
Why would you be recording audio? I forget if I'm misremembering. I had
no idea.
I remember looking this up. Ironically, in 2006, I was looking up these urban legends.
Wow.
Obviously bullshit. But that's like the urban legend is that the voice you hear is a girl dying in the song, which I think is why, one, they picked it because it said roller coaster. Which they should have used it during the roller coaster scene.
Yes.
They picked it for roller coaster, and they picked it because the girl dying in the song.
I really think they only picked it because it had roller coaster in it.
I think it's both. I think it's a twofer.
Okay.
A song about a roller coaster, and also there's an urban legend attached to it of a girl dying in it, and we're about to have two girls die.
Yep.
I think it works out. We have my favorite thing about these films is the Rube Goldberg domino effect that death does. So the drink leaks into the HVAC system that ends up making the the tanning booth way too hot. And then because they set up the air conditioner turns on, knocks over the coat rack, which knocks down the shelf, and then
somehow gets in between both openings.
It gets in between and locks them in there while they're frying. And I'm going to talk about the alternate version in a minute, which would have ruined this death scene. But this is great. You're right. It's the standout kill of the movie. Of them just frying and screaming. The jump cut sells it.
So
the jump cut had me dying when there's the tanning booth's on fire and it hard cuts to the casket.
Yeah, not jump cuts.
Bravo. That is so good. Also, that funeral happened really quick. Bravo.
Smash cut.
Yes,
Smash cut.
And the reason no one was able to save them is because the guy propped the door with like a tube, like a tanning.
Yeah, first it was a can of soda.
Yeah.
And then it was, a bottle of tanning lotion.
Yep.
And they also put a sign on the door. They locked the door
and saying,
be back in 30 minutes.
So
they didn't
no
want
one can save them. Alternate version.
Yeah, what is that?
The alternate version, it's, I don't know which one's which, to be honest. And at this point.
But this was in the movie that you could have picked.
I think so. I looked up, I'm going to find out for sure, but I looked up the deleted alternate scene. So I assume this is part of the Choose Your Own Fate or it's just an alternate scene.
Yeah.
So in this one, one of the girls gets out. She makes it out of her tanning booth and she like crawls over and she's trying to help the other girl. And as she grabs the other girl, the tanning booth like short circuits and electrocutes both of them.
Oh my god!
And then the girl like falls in the middle and stuff.
I mean, cool.
It's still like brutal, but the theatrical, the jump cut to the thing to the
that is the best.
It works so much better.
Yeah,
it works so much better. I couldn't stop laughing at that. So they have the funeral.
So good.
They have the funeral, and they're like, yes, death is equal opportunity or whatever. And Punk Kid's like, no, it's not.
Yeah. These are two young girls that had their whole life ahead of them.
He's like, they never did anything wrong. And Osama bin Laden's still alive. It was 2006. He's like, what the hell? That's not the only time you're going to hear about him, by the way. They're like, what the hell is going on? Why is this happening? And we know why it's happening. We get told why this is happening. Why did those girls die? They were trying to look good for Frankie Cheeks.
They wouldn't have felt the pressure to look so good. Impress Franklin Cheeks.
I should have, what does he say? I should have respected their mind more than their boobs or something.
Yeah, and the sister's like, okay, not everything is about you.
No, I'm looking at it and I'm just like, Frankie, you're right. You're right.
My goodness.
You're right. Frankie, you're on the money. They did that for you. There probably was a deleted scene where they went, this is for Frankie Cheeks. I love that he's just why is he even at the funeral?
I haven't seen him in anything else. I feel bad.
He should be in all these movies. And according to one of the alternate versions, he could have been in all these movies.
I can't wait to hear about it.
Wendy starts talking to Kevin about how she feels death's presence. Mm-hmm. And I thought this shot looked weird. I'm like, why does this, they're obviously outside, but why does she look weird? And it's because they digitally replaced the trees to make them all blow and look windy. And I'm like,
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, no, the trees are blowing unnaturally. I'm like, oh, that looks weird. Because I don't think they green screen. I think they were just outside, but they decided to add more digital trees blowing, and it just looked weird to me. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's death being like, we know you're onto us. We're going to scare you. It was 2006, it was like 5 or 6 years. I think the picture of 9/11 was just a little
too soon.
I think it was a little too soon, a little too insensitive. Like, let's maybe not
Still too soon.
That was definitely too soon. Maybe not use real tragedies.
And they don't really talk about it. They didn't.
Well, you notice, you never actually see, it's all like inserts. I think that's something they might have added in post.
Okay.
Like when they were doing like second unit, I feel like they added in a picture of 9/11 because I would have been like, all right, well, come on, lady.
But they do have the one of Abraham Lincoln, and I'm like, is this real? Like, are all these real? Was that a real picture?
I don't know about. I mean, that is a real picture of Abraham Lincoln. I don't know about maybe.
That's
Look,
real.
photography was new. There's probably a lot of scratches on old pictures.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 9/11 one, I'm like, all right, well, yeah, because the Abraham Lincoln one, like, look, there's a crack, and that's where the thing would be. And then it's like 9/11, like, here's a very obvious plane shadow. I'm like, well, that one's not subtle like the other one. Like, come on.
Yeah, bad.
It reminds me of like Insidious. When the pictures of the evil lady in his childhood.
Oh my gosh, and it just keeps
I love
getting
it. I love how
closer.
they start off subtle and then it's just there. And I'm like, come on.
Literally in a selfie with him. Yeah, but then she's getting a little woozy.
Yeah, because she hasn't eaten.
She hasn't eaten, and he's like, all right, let's go get you some food.
Let's get some food in you.
Where I thought, honestly, I would have thought that this movie took place somewhere where we lived.
Well, it's in Pennsylvania.
Is it?
They say McKinley, Pennsylvania.
Get out of here. They say PA.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, that makes more sense to me. Because then there's this, it looks like San Francisco or something.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think they do mention Pennsylvania. I forget where the first two were set around. They mentioned Pennsylvania in the previous one, but I think this one is set in there.
That makes way more sense.
Also, I forgot. The kid who dies at the very end of Final Destination 2 gets blown up by the grill. That's the gay, angry dude from Shameless. Yep. Sorry, I realized while editing, I'm like, oh, that's that guy from Shameless.
I remember that.
I'm like, I should have mentioned that. They go to get food. On their way, they almost run into a truck. Scares the truck driver. He ends up fucking up his emergency brake or something. This is setting up. So we're setting up for another kill. So they're looking through the photos, and they're like, okay, Frankie Cheeks had a necklace of the mud flap girl that you see on trucks. She's like, so it must be truck related.
Okay.
So that's where she's making like connections. So Death is setting up the kill. They catch on that something's about to happen. The radio kicks on.
Yes, and they also think a ladder. He's on a ladder.
Yeah.
Or it could be ropes. Maybe he commits suicide or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then the
song starts playing. Was that song in the first one?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I should have rewatched the first one before this. So yeah, the song starts playing. I love that she's like, please tell me you have like a short in your, he's like, no. I'm like, okay, well, this is Death fucking with us. Yeah. It's about to happen. So they look in the rearview mirror. They see a truck coming down and another truck backed up way too close to them. So they're sandwiched between a car in the front who won't move and a car in the back who won't move.
Yeah,
And
dumb.
There's a bigger truck coming. They beep to the guy in front of them who just gives them the finger, but doesn't turn around. They're like, oh no, what are we going to do? So they get lucky. The car behind them sees it, backs up. They get out of their car. Truck hits their car. The engine pops out of the truck into the back of the car in front of them and just cuts the back of the guy's head off. And who was that guy? Frankie Cheeks.
And the only way that they got out was because they had to kick their window.
Yeah, I wept for Frankie Cheeks. But he rose.
He got it really bad.
But don't worry, he rose again, Casey, because one of the alternate versions.
What is the alternate version?
So in the alternate version, while they're beeping, he actually turns around and looks at them and gives them the finger, so they know it's Frankie Cheeks.
Wow.
They're able to get out a little earlier, and they pull him out of the car and save him.
That's so cool.
I'm suing fish. I'm rich. Pours on Frankie.
Oh my gosh, wow.
I just never see him again. So in that timeline, Frankie Cheeks is alive and well. I'm sure he'll be in all the future sequels.
It's a great kill, though, because we all do that. Go through a drive-thru and...
Yeah, I do love that kill. I love that it's just so sudden. The engine comes and just chops up his head. But I love that you don't know it's him at first. And it's like, oh no, it's Frankie.
Right. Oh, man. And that's where they filled in his receding hairline.
The poor guy.
Maybe it was the dummy. I don't know.
So, yeah, they go home. They're like, okay, we really got to study these photos a little closer. Yeah. And they realize that there was a fan behind Frankie, and then he realized it was the fan from the engine.
Yeah, so there was a fan behind him in the picture that Kevin took up the girl's skirt.
That's right. It was that picture. So they look at Lewis, and they're like, okay, something with a hammer. He had a hammer, and the head came off. And they look at the swords. They're like, wait. The Sultans, that's the team that he's trying out for or whatever, that he's training for. We got to go visit him at training camp to warn him.
Yep. Which is like, they go to a gym. So it's like, this is really like so many possibilities at a gym.
Yeah, and the movie knows that. And it does a really good job at throwing a bunch of opportunities out at you.
Wait, is it the Sultans? Is that a real team in real life?
this is obviously made up for the movie. There probably is a team called the Sultans.
In Oakland, what are they? The Raiders.
Raiders.
No.
Oh, well, they're not in Oakland anymore.
But they were, right?
Yes.
Raiders.
Now
and then, so I think it was Glenn, what's his name? The writer?
Glenn Morgan, yeah.
Yes. He said in the documentary, he was like, it would be funny. They wanted to have that kill because Raiders would think it's funny, but like if you did it to 49ers, like they would have thought that was stupid. Sorry, I don't know if that's good
okay.
fact.
You might have seen the Raiders sign over there. My dad is.
Oh, great! So
when
he
this was
supposed
when this was supposed to be his man cave that he didn't use, there's a leftover Raiders. He's for some reason he's really into the Raiders and always has been. I don't think he's ever been to Oakland. I know he wouldn't go to Oakland now, but now they're the Las Vegas Rangers. They were like Los Angeles, I think, then Oakland.
Yeah.
Again, as not a football guy, I've had to hear a lot about the Raiders growing up.
But there was a lot that, like you said, went into this scene.
Yes.
Yeah, and how to design the machine coming up.
I forgot to mention, they're hesitant to look at their pictures.
Mm-hmm.
They want to stop the people in front of them so they don't have to look at their pictures, I guess. But Kevin does go like, does something go up my ass? Like, that's what he's worried about. So they're begging Lewis to listen, and he's just not listening to them.
No.
And like, this is great. So she's like looking at the picture. She's like, all right, there's a stuffed bear. And then the guy's punching a stuffed bear in the gym.
They're all meatheads. Like every single one of them.
She sees the swords above. Okay, I have to ask you, because you're more familiar with gym equipment than I. What the hell was that pull down machine?
Yeah.
What was that?
So it's literally, it is a pull down, but he's just doing it from the front. Like, you know how you would do like pullovers on a bench?
No,
now
I get
it's
that.
on a machine.
But like, why are the weights there and fold down? Is this a real thing or is
Well,
this
they fold down because the knives cut, the swords cut.
No, but why is that even like a thing that would happen on the machine? Why would, I don't understand.
Because it's a plate loaded machine.
Yeah, but
it all goes into it in the special features. The girl who designed it.
But they designed it for this movie. This isn't like a real.
No, it is a real machine.
This is a real machine.
Yes.
Because I've used pull down machines and they don't look like this.
And they're from the, this way, but this way you're coming forward.
I would never work out on this thing. I wouldn't
either, especially after this. But I had to ask my boyfriend, who is a personal trainer, because I didn't really know.
Yeah,
but he said yes. No, that is a real machine.
I was looking at that. I'm like, I've seen machines like this. I've used machines like this, but never like.
I know
this one looks horrifying, and I don't like this mechanic of the weights. If something cuts, it'll clamp.
But it is real.
Yeah, so they're doing this, and it's all janky. It's messing up the swords. But I love that she's looking around. So they're like, there's this spill near an electrical outlet, but then someone cleans it, and it's just, and everyone's screaming and yelling.
Yes.
And it really puts you on edge.
And he's like, I'm gonna win.
Yeah,
I just win. I don't die. I win.
Oh yeah, he's talking about like all these things he's gonna do, and it literally reminds me of the one Simpsons episode where they're watching that cop movie, and the guy's like, 2 days to retirement. Me and my wife, we got a boat. We called it the Live Forever, and then he dies right away. This is what it reminds me of. I was like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna live, and then he's like freaking out, and then the weights come down and crush his head.
And they did the head thing.
Yeah.
What is that?
They made a mold or cast of his head.
And it looked so good, and it's like you barely get to enjoy it because of how quickly it goes, and then the CGI blood. It's so dumb.
I love it. It splashes, splatters them. It's pretty insane. So the swords, whatever, cut the cable that connect the two. Alternate version.
Yeah.
Sucks.
What is it?
This
is a treat, you guys, that you're getting to hear this alternate version.
There's no build-up or anything. They're like, we're going to do this, we're going to explain this, we're going to explain that, and that's going to happen. They walk in, he literally goes, what the fuck are you doing here? Boom, and then his head just gets crushed.
Yeah, they probably had enough at that point.
Yeah, but I'm just like, there's
the creators.
Yeah, but I'm like, there's no tension or build-up or anything. I'm like, that version sucked.
Because do you think that the director and writer had to go into this with those different alternate, like if they wanted this?
Honestly, this one feels like they just wanted to breeze past it and get to some other kills. But then they were like, wait a minute, maybe this movie's running too short. Let's go back and spice it up. But okay. That's what I can think of, because it's just such a nothing scene. I'm like, why would you make it that lame?
Yeah, and what really irked me was when they were getting into the car afterwards, and they're wearing all the merchandise of the
because they had to buy new clothes. No, I like that. I like that they had to buy merch.
I would never buy it. I don't know. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't.
What else? You can't. You want his brain matter?
No, I guess not. But That's a constant. I guess that's more of a constant reminder. His brain matter than the logo.
Yeah. The punk kids are next.
Yes.
So they're still confused who the mystery people on the roller coaster are. But for now, they got to find the punk kids who are working at a hardware store. Because of course they are. Of course they're working at a hardware store.
And he had to really learn how to use the forklift.
He's forklift certified?
I think so.
He's a badass.
But he's like, if you see some really good forklift driving, my acting is just terrible. And then if you see really good acting, my forklift driving is terrible.
Yeah,
he was like, I couldn't wait to show off my skills.
That was like a meme a few years ago where people were bragging about being forklift certified. And it was like, there were memes where like girls were just like, he's forklift certified. Woo.
He must have been.
So yeah, he's chasing pigeons with his nail gun, pretending to be Tony Montana.
Terrible.
The pigeons are set up for the alternate version of what we're about to see, because I was wondering what the pigeons were.
Gotcha.
Maybe were they the same pigeons from Final Destination 2? They survived and made it to this movie. Don't believe them. They're like, come on, like, look, you have to believe us. You're gonna die. They're like, can you at least tell us who was behind you on the coaster?
Which I really wish that they could have believed them a little bit, because he's the one who made that whole speech during the the funeral for those girls.
Yeah. Well, I think he's all like, I don't believe in fate or any supernatural. It's just science and hardcore, like statistics and energy and negative reaction and all this stuff. But yeah, while they're doing this, he drops a box of nails off a shelf into another forklift that just happens to be parked on the other side of the shelf. I'm pretty sure they park them in certain areas, but what do I know? And then Punk Girl is magneting all of the nails. And she's like, I'm sure there's a home for this tool, but I'm going to leave it in this shelf. That's going to knock down a bunch of chains. And we're just not going to hear the chains, although I'm pretty sure they'd be echoing pretty loud.
So much goes into this one, too.
Yeah. And the chains knock the box onto the pedal of the forklift. So, Punk Guy starts sawing wood. Because again, this movie, upon rewatching this, they were wise after 2 movies. People are going to be looking for the setups. The best part of the second one was the mislead where you think the girl is going to blow up, but her death leads to a different explosion. I feel like they went all...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Remember, because you think she's going to blow up with the cigarette and the gas, but she just gets the airbag. Yes. I actually just hurt my nose doing that. Oh. So I feel like with this one, they're like, let's just keep showing so many possibilities. So you're like, you don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah, and after you watch these movies, everything you do, you start thinking like, oh God, that's a setup of something. Like every little thing you do, you'll just be thinking about it.
Yeah, so he starts sawing wood.
As they're closing up.
Yes. I feel like they're just hanging out there. Yeah. They don't need to be there. The forklift crashes into a wall, which knocks a hammer down, or it hits the lever, which starts lifting the wall that's connected to a row of shelves.
No one hears this.
No one hears any of this, even though it would be very loud. Oh, wait. Why they don't hear it, the saw?
Oh, good for them.
Okay, they figured that one out. I still think you would have heard the chains falling.
Yeah.
So yeah. While he's doing this, I think he's talking about like, well, look, if death has a plan and there's this thing is in motion, we could like screw it up. He implies like, if you kill yourself, if you're supposed to be the last one, but you kill yourself, it throws off the whole design. But he didn't watch Final Destination 2, where he doesn't know that death won't allow you to kill yourself. Because remember, the guy tries to shoot himself, and they're like, well, duds. He's like, all 6 bullets can't be a dud.
Yeah, and Wendy keeps looking back at the picture just to try to find different things that could be happening in the
so again, not buying it. So the ladder, this knocks over a ladder, which drops a bunch of stakes and wood onto them, but Wendy is able to save him. She's able to save him, so death skips him, and now it's got to go to Erin.
It goes right to her.
Yes, where there's like
right through her.
There was like a bag that had a bunch of sawdust, I think, and it explodes and it scares her.
Yeah.
She trips onto his nail gun, which just starts shooting nails through her face.
Still such a great kill. And that they made a whole dummy for that.
Well, they had to.
And it looked so real.
Yeah. Alternate version of the death. Instead of sawdust, the pigeons from earlier fly in front of her, and that makes her trip. And I'm like, oh. Why even put that on the deep? Like, why even put that on there? I'm like,
I can't believe this.
Some of them are cooler than others. And I'm like, that one That one's dumb. I'm like, okay, so she just tripped for a different reason. Who cares? Oh, the foreshadowing she saw like a banner, like those little triangular banners. And there was a banner earlier, but it turns out it was the stakes above him. That's when she clicked. She's like, oh no, it's pointy stakes. We got to save him. Julie takes Wendy's charm bracelet when she's sleeping because she wants her good luck bracelet that her grandmother gave her or whatever. Wendy wakes up and she's studying the picture and she sees that the mysterious people in front of her were wearing the charm bracelet. She's like, oh no, it's Julie. And I think Julie gets into an old Scion, like my car, but a different model. And she's going to the tricentennial fair at the town. We forgot to mention Punk Kid's name is McKinley.
Yes, his last name is McKinley.
Like the school, because that plays into what's coming up. Kevin happens to be working at the fair as security. We also forgot to mention that they did go to the cops and explain everything.
They did. It was
he was like, I didn't say anything to them. She's like, I told him everything. They didn't listen to me.
So brief.
Where did the FBI guys from the first one ever go? Because they should be like, this keeps happening.
I know.
Maybe
you know who's in that?
Who's that?
Oh, God. Don't. Oh, my gosh. The guy that we met at Monstermania. St. Nick. Daniel Roebuck.
Daniel Roebuck.
Daniel Roebuck is one of the final.
Oh, he was, wasn't he?
Yes.
Oh, crap. We should have asked him about that.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. Yes.
That was a wonderful movie. St. Nick of Bethlehem. We went and saw it. We should have did the double feature.
That was our idea.
I know. We could have watched 2 Daniel Roebuck dressed as Santa movies. One very family friendly and Christian themed. The other one, Art the Clown rips his face off.
That was our idea. Couldn't believe
They must have heard us talking about it.
Yeah, they probably did. So she figures out it's her sister, and then she gets on the phone with Kevin saying, I know Julie's going to go there. And he's like, okay, I want to know how I die before this happens.
Yeah.
And then she looks at his picture. She's like, I don't know. It's all overexposed. And he's like, oh, a bunch of fireworks went in my face.
Yeah.
And then he turns around and there's the fireworks.
It's a bunch of fireworks. But I like, I think her picture, she just sees McKinley on her shirt.
And her boyfriend's in the picture and he's blurred.
He's all blurred. So she's not sure what McKinley means. But then we see punk guy McKinley following her to the fair. But you're great with Kevin. I love that he's at the thing and he's just seeing all the flammable objects around him. And then it's Ben Franklin, who's just like, hopefully we'll get some lightning. And he's just like, fuck you, Ben Franklin.
That's what made me think it took place here.
Yeah, it's in PA. A fictional town, but still. So yes, then death is up to its tricks. A cannonball falls off and rolls and makes one of the fireworks carts uneven.
Yeah, and the only way that ball fell off was because some guy bumped into it. So it's all his fault.
Yep. And then some jerks decide to get some firecrackers to scare a horse, who then takes off into the crowd with a rope, and the stake is it's dragging a stake along with it.
But before all of that,
which part?
Before all that, Wendy finally gets there and tries to find her sister to tell her you're in danger, and Kevin finally gets her and tells her, and she does the same middle finger like she does in the picture, and there's a horse in the back of the picture. So like you said, that happens and the horse comes down and I guess trips her and gets the rope around her neck.
Yeah, it tangles her in the rope.
And she did all those stunts herself.
Oh, really?
She was on a harness, but it was wrapped around her neck, the rope.
Yeah. The horse is dragging her around. It's about to drag her into some old-timey farm equipment. Yeah. So she's about to get spiked, but luckily Kevin grabs a sword. Grabs a sword from one of the reenactors and cuts the rope. I guess it wasn't dulled. Cuts the rope and saves her. So death skips her, and her friend comes over, what's wrong?
Yeah.
And I love
You're
Wendy.
who is next to you on the ride?
Who is next to you? And then a different horse is running and launches this flag, and it goes right through her friend. Kevin almost blows up next to a grill.
Yeah.
A kebab gets down and plugs something. There's about to be a big explosion.
Oh, my goodness.
And Wendy saves him. So we've skipped multiple people so far. Now, Wendy thinks that McKinley's going to murder her.
Yeah.
which isn't how
he's just lurking in the back and finally finds them.
Which is how, and he's got this new confidence. He's like, well, death skipped me. I can't die. So he's like confronting her. They're afraid of him. I'm not really sure what his plan is. I think he's just trying to scare her because he's angry. The fireworks cart tips over and it's about to kill her, but she ducks.
Yeah.
And it misses him. He's like, see, I told you I can survive. But now that they've skipped enough people, it's gone back to him.
Oh my gosh.
So the big what was
McKinley sign.
Yeah, the big sign
that
that's attached to like a cherry picker.
Yeah.
The firework explodes and just splatters and cuts him in half.
He's like still alive.
Alternate death. It just splatters him. The top part of his body doesn't fall out.
Oh.
It just actually I like it better that it just splatters him and doesn't show him half. It's just like it's like a fucking watermelon.
Wow.
But yeah, he gets crushed and split in half.
In theory, that was meant for Wendy.
Yes, but I guess since she avoided it, it went back to him because he was next in line. Yeah. So everything's good. Everything's good now, even though they don't know the rule that you're supposed to create a new life will break the thing. They don't know that rule because they haven't met Tony Todd.
Yes.
They didn't tell them that. 5 months later, Wendy's on the subway, and the guy is singing the song that's been singing throughout the whole movie, and she realizes she's on train 180. And she's like, I don't like this. So her roommate's like, are you all right? She's like, nope, we got to get out. And I like that on the subway, all the ads are for places where they died. And the last one is like death and taxes.
So good.
And then the train conductor chimes in. Which, by the way, I've never been on a subway that, like a regular underground subway that had a conductor who talked to you. Maybe I just don't use subways.
They talk.
I guess I just don't use subways that much.
Yeah.
I hate using New York subways.
But it's never like a person. It's usually just
it's usually like next stop. This.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they say, what is it?
The conductor is Tony Todd, and he says,
Next stop is the end of the line.
The next stop is the end of the line.
So
which is funny because I think the train, either in this or the alter version, it literally says end of the line on the front of it. So yeah, while this is happening, Rat eats a candy bar that falls onto the track. Julie happens to get on the train as Wendy wanted to get off. She's like, oh my God, my sister Julie is here. What a surprise. And Julie tells her, like, it's going to be fine. She's like, hey, I'm feeling weird again. She's like, hey, it's going to be fine. Because remember, it has to go to Kevin, and Kevin's not here.
Wait a sec.
Yeah. So while that's happening, so they look over, they're like, wait a minute, that's Kevin. They're all on the same train. The rat gets shocked eating the candy bar, which causes the track to move over.
Oh my gosh.
Julie,
so much thought.
There's a big pile up. Julie gets killed. Something like falls through the train, smashes her. Kevin falls out the window and gets grinded up and shredded. Wendy somehow survives all of this. Everyone's dead around her.
She's the last one.
Yeah, everyone's dead around her, and then another train comes. Now, hasn't happened before where they got another premonition.
Right.
Usually you get the initial premonition, and then you just see signs. You don't get like a full-on premonition again. So I thought that was interesting.
I think in the fourth one.
Well, maybe going forward they did, but the previous one, they didn't get that. Because even like Ollie Larder in the last one, she's like, me and him, we avoided it like 15 times, but they never said they got another premonition.
Yeah.
So it cuts back. She wakes up and she's like, it's going to happen again. And they all start panicking and they try to get out and then the movie ends.
Yeah.
Alternate death.
Yeah.
Well, one, the setup to it, there's a homeless man reading with a newspaper on him. The newspaper falls down. We find out the survivors of the previous film both fell into a wood chipper.
Oh.
Like the girl fell into the wood chipper and the cop went to grab her and also got sucked in the wood. I don't like that.
I don't either.
Because why would Tony Todd give them the solution to beat it? I like that they were able to beat it.
Right.
It won't stop everyone from being saved, but I like that there is a way to beat it. But you have to know that information. These characters didn't know the information, so they can't beat it. So yeah, I'm glad they cut that out. I don't like that. But yeah, it's pretty much the same thing, only instead of it being a premonition where she snaps out of it, it just ends. She actually does get hit and splatters.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to a cover of Love Train. Everybody all over the world.
Of course it does.
Join hands. I'm like,
oh, and then Love Train.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, come on, Love Train.
Well, that's how all the teen movies ended, with a big song and
that was,
happy
it's funny.
song.
We noticed it in like Scream too, but yeah, that like 90s, early 2000s. They were like weird bands were just covering old songs. What was it in Scream 2? Was I Think I Love You, because he sings it earlier in the movie, but then there's like a fast version of it. Everyone over the world.
I wish they lived though.
Yeah,
I really
mean,
do. I really love this
I guess
one.
we don't know if they did or not. I assume they didn't.
I think so.
But yeah, upon a rewatch, I think initially I was let down. I still think the roller coaster could have been way better.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of work went into it, but I think maybe the effects weren't there to really sell it. I
think you're right, because when I rewatched it too, I also thought, oh, that was quick, and that was
and it just didn't look as good as the first two. But upon a rewatch, I really enjoyed it. This is when they got a little bit more cheeky with the comedy.
Cheeky.
Which I think 5, I'm excited to rewatch 5 because I think 5 went really
you ruined 5 for me.
I did?
Yes.
Oh, did you not see it when I told you that?
I had seen it like when it came out, and then I was rewatching all of them, and then you spoiled 5 for me.
No, that's not, Casey, I can't spoil something
okay.
you've already seen.
Okay.
I was just reminding you.
Yeah, and I had forgotten.
That's different than a spoiler. That was a reminder.
Side eye. But can I say another thing about this movie, which I texted you this morning when I was watching the special feature of the documentary? So wonderful. The composer of this movie. It's so funny because they
Shirley Walker.
Yes. They go through all of the deaths, and then they cut to this jolly woman just composing the music for it.
Yeah.
And then she pulls out this thing that she created, and it was the grossometer. And they like wanted to reach different parts of this meter with the musical score that they created. And you have to include the image. Like, wow, how creative are they?
And then she died shortly after this came out.
She died.
And I think she scored the first 2, I believe.
Oh, really?
I could be wrong. But she worked with a lot of huge composers.
Yeah.
She conducted for a lot of them. I know her from Batman the Animated Series. She's the one that she like took Danny Elfman's theme from the Tim Burton movies and changed it to her own. And she knocked it out of the park when they did Mask of the Phantasm, which we have a review of. But yeah, her music was great. She's like probably one of the biggest like female composers that I know.
But I want Tapes from the Crypt to make a shirt with the grossometer on it, please. Thank you. Anything Final Destination 3 themed. Thank you.
Yes, I will let Tim know whose shirt I'm wearing now. Spawn.
Yeah.
I think at the time of this recording, the sax guy from Lost Boys is out.
I'm like, I already have a Turbo Man one. I don't know.
But yeah, I enjoy it. Like I said, I really like the series. The next one I think might be the weakest one, but I don't know. Maybe I'll rewatch it and be like, you know what? It was great.
Yeah, I have to rewatch them. I know Emma Bella's in the last one. She was in Frozen. Adam Green's Frozen.
My problem with the next one coming up, it's the director of 2. And it started off with the racetrack, so I'm like, well, he killed it with the highway stuff. The racetrack is going to be even better. And then I forgot it was the 3D one. I'm like, oh, that was another letdown.
So I want to know, like, what kills stand out for you most for the movies?
Well,
for the first one, what's the first kill that you think of?
The first one,
the standout kill.
Standout kill for bus, obviously.
The bus. Oh, okay.
The bus. That's the big. After the plane, that one's the one that gets like memed all the time. So it's definitely bus.
True. Bus. Number 2.
Number 2 is the highway.
Well, yeah. But number 2 for me, like the kill that are after is when she gets her hair caught in the elevator.
Oh,
like
yeah.
her head.
That one didn't do it for me too much, just because the first Resident Evil movie had a decapitation, and it came out like a year before that one.
Okay.
However, aside from the opening Premonition and 2, glass plane crushing the guy. That one.
Cool.
That one's
and then
good.
this one, totally the tanning bed.
It's the tanning bed, 100%.
I really think of all of the movies.
The theatrical version of the tanning bed, not the alternate version. This version with the hard jump to the coffins. I'm trying to remember
the pool.
I don't even remember the pool. I remember the car wash. I remember
escalator.
the movie theater. I remember the escalator.
Okay. And then the 5th one.
You know what's funny? I really loved 5, and I'm having trouble remembering specific
The
deaths
ones
from
with
it.
the, what's it called? That you put in your back. You put needles in your back.
Oh, the acupuncture?
Yes, acupuncture.
They did an acupuncture
Yes.
one? I have to rewatch that one.
Yeah.
However, the end of 5 was really good.
Oh, well, yeah. But I love all these movies. They leave me feeling so good. I don't know why, but I love
I don't know why
them.
these make you feel really good.
I don't know, but I really love
people
them.
being horrifyingly mangled.
It's the best franchise in my opinion. Best horror franchise.
It is good, and I'm excited for Bloodlines. At the time of this recording, there's still no trailer out. But I know that actress Anna Lore is in it. She's popping up in a bunch of stuff the last few years, so I think she's about to be in more bigger stuff. That's all I know. Oh, and apparently someone let me know Tony Todd is in the new one. He filmed all his stuff a while ago.
Yes, that's right.
So yeah, although it is
R.I.P.
a prequel, I think it's supposed to be a prequel.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to digitally de-age him, or will they just do what Saul 10 went and just went, just pretend it's 20 years.
Oh my gosh. Or like an alien Romulus.
Oh god, well that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They did do the digital de-aging for Tony Todd in the Candyman remake.
Yeah.
So I could see them
That
being
was the best part.
which wasn't even the original ending. The original ending was different.
And this wasn't the original ending. The original ending was I think they just end.
Yeah.
They end, and then the subway scene isn't there.
Oh, can I read
Yes,
the
please.
character stuff? Okay, I don't know if this is all of them.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, so if you join the Hack the Movies Patreon, the $5 or $10 tier, you get into the Hack the Movies Discord, where I have fun talking with all of you. And House of Fior sent me a bunch of the... So the initial opening when you can save all your friends, they give you character stuff, what happens to them after the movie. So, Carrie.
Wait, save all your friends.
So remember I said the coin flip where you could save your friends?
Yes.
This is the ending, the little text they give you at the end to let you know what happened to them after they were saved. So Carrie, the girl, desperate to start living, Carrie dumped Kevin the day after the incident. She enrolled at Berkeley, dropping out after one semester to travel the world. Presently, Carrie is a groupie for Doctors Without Borders. Okay. Kevin. After the incident, Kevin's obsession with Wendy grew dramatically. To avoid being slapped with a restraining order dictating he stay 100 yards away from the Christensen home, Kevin joined the army and was sent to Iraq.
Okay.
Citing bizarre and erratic behavior, Kevin was discharged after refusing to go on patrol in Barca because 3 consecutive coin flips landed on heads. The patrol was subsequently ambushed. So he got a bunch of people killed. Kevin Fisher is presently back in McKinley, staying 100 yards away from the Christensen home. Okay, Jason, the other guy. After months of intense contemplation and study of the various world religions, including Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Orthodox Judaism, Shiite Muslimism, Taoism, Unitarianism, and yoga, Jason emerged from his room. So he was doing this in a room for months. And founded the Church of Ultimate Beliefs. Preaching enlightened preordination, Jason and his followers have built a self-sustaining compound in New Hampshire. So he became a cult leader.
Oh my gosh, who wrote these?
I don't know, but they were having a lot of fun.
Where did he
This is
find
on the DVD when you save all your friends, apparently.
But you didn't, that wasn't an option.
I don't know when these would have played. Okay. No, wait, this is Wendy, main girl. No longer in denial about her gift, Wendy Christensen changed her name to Ming.
Oh, come on.
She advises politicians and celebrities and often gives pro bono readings to police departments around the country. Last reported seen in Vancouver, British Columbia. Her present whereabouts are unknown.
Oh my goodness.
Someone had a lot of fun with this DVD. They really had a lot of fun with this DVD. But yes, that is Final Destination 3. Let me know if you like the choose your own fate stuff. I'm going to dig through it and see if there were more options and I'll insert it.
Okay.
But yes, Casey, where can we find you?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at Casey the Final Girl.
Yes, and you can follow us, like, share, subscribe, sign up for the Patreon. The Patreon's going to have a lot of fun this year.
Yay.
Listen to the podcast feed. Download the podcast feed. I've been putting some bonus audio on the podcast feed. Like whenever I do streams with Adam where we talk about like movie news and stuff, I'm like, screw it. I'll put that on the podcast feed. Adam. Everyone's favorite. Adam does movie.
He hates everything.
I don't know if you saw, like, I made fun of him on the wrap-up because I'm like, yeah, Nosferatu's out and everyone loves it. And the next slide was his thumbnail saying, Nosferatu.
Yeah.
It's just another Godzilla -1 moment.
It is. But yeah, here's to a great 2025.
Yes, let's do it. 2025.
Yes, none of this will happen to us.
Yeah, we're not going to die. And also, I slacked off a little too much last year, so I'm going harder this year.
Yes.
We're going harder. Let's do it. I'm probably going to die tomorrow.
Yeah, me too. But let us know what movies you want to see.
Well, I hope we don't die. Casey, we got to go tanning now.
We have to go tan because we have to look good for this year.
If me and Casey die in a horrifying tanning.
I used to love to go tanning. But it's over now. It's over now.
All right.
Never mind.
Goodbye, everyone.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.